on Thursday we had 9 games. Oh, we don't have 9 games. We have 7 games. We're gonna have 9 games tonight. Let's talk about the first game. The Orlando Magic lost to Charlotte Hornets. Yep, Charlotte Hornets needs to keep winning. They will be in the play-ins. They're fighting for seeding. Let's see where they're at right now. The 10th. Okay, so technically with 2 games left, they could still be the 8th seed. They just need to keep winning. For the Magic, Mo Bamba's season is over. He played just 4 minutes, left the game with an injury. Don't really think he's coming back. So if you got him, 100% a drop, and try to stream that spot Friday and Saturday. And with Mo Bamba out, this game, Wendell Carter Jr., is he coming back? I don't think so. So they only have 1 game left in their schedule anyways. And it's on Sunday, so this is drop city for everybody. Maybe Shuma Okiki, you have him, you could ride it out with him on Sunday, especially when you need the defensive stat. He did it all here. 3 steals and 2 blocks, 4 assists and rebounds. Otherwise, everybody is really droppable. Jalen Suggs played 60 minutes. Markel Fultz has been consistent getting the assist. RJ Hampton getting 35, but with only 1 game left. Unless you need the defensive stats out from Okiki, you should drop everybody. Well, if you got more than enough acquisitions, Okiki is also somebody you want to drop as well because they don't have any games in the next 2 days. For the Charlotte Hornets, Miles Bridges, 24 minutes, easy work for these guys. And for the Charlotte Hornets, they don't really have a lot of value. All the values are from the starters. Well, they have another game tonight. So if you were streaming PJ Washington, you're streaming Mason Plumlee, just continue to hold. But all the bench guys like Cody Martin, Kelly Oubre Jr., now that Isaiah Thomas is in the mix, right? Jalen McDaniels is getting some minutes, so they don't really have much value. Who had a good game here? LaMelo Ball had a big game, 26 points, 9 assists, 4 threes, and he starts slowly getting back to the level where he was at the beginning of the season. Let's see how they do in the playoffs. They're going to be in the play-in. If they're lucky, they might be in the play-in. But right now, it's looking like it's going to be the Nets. It's going to be the Atlanta Hawks. Ooh, it's tough. The Cavaliers are the 17th. But in terms of the strength, because Cavaliers lost so many guys, it should be the Nets and the Hawks. All right, let's go to the next game. Another ugly loss by the Philadelphia Sixers. Maybe they're just trying to get to the 5th seed. Because the strongest team clearly is the Milwaukee Bucks in the East. Looking like right now. I think the Sixers should be okay versus the Celtics, should be okay versus the Nets, should be okay versus the Heat. I don't think those teams are, clearly the Bucks is 1 tier above everybody at the moment, I feel like. So, after this loss, they're the 4th seed and the Raptors the 5th seed. They're going to play each other in the first round, and we find out that Matisse Thybulle is not going to be eligible to play at the Raptors because he is not vaccinated. I think it's a big deal. You have a starter now playing 30 minutes. It's gonna mess up things for your team because then Danny Green has to come and play 30. What if he's in foul trouble? Who are you gonna play then? Danny Green played 38 minutes. Had a great game. 6 threes, a steal and a block, 4 assists. The Sixers, they got a back-to-back on the weekend, so I think guys like Joel Embiid and Harden, they might rest one of those games, looking like it. So then we could maybe pick up Shake Milton for that 1 game. Maybe we could pick up Danny Green for that 1 game. Oh, actually, no. Matisse Thybulle will be playing. So all the usage is probably going to go to Maxey, and if even Maxey is out, then Shake Milton 100%, they need to be streamed. And Joel Embiid continue to put up numbers. No worries there. 30 points, 10 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey, unbelievable shooting. 4 threes, 22 points with 2 steals and a block. Harden at this point, in terms of what category he brings, is the assists and the free throws. He doesn't make that many threes. He doesn't score. He gets okay amount of defensive stats. Just okay. Like when he was on Rockets, he averaged like 2 steals a game, 1.8 steals a game. He no longer does that. And same thing with blocks. This season, at least, he's not blocking any shots. So next season, assists and free throws should be pretty solid with Harden. And the free throw attempt also has gone down as well. So really, it's just the assist. Is he gonna turn into a CP3 type of player? Maybe. Yeah, in the next season, if if he's still looking like this. The minutes is high though, 39 minutes. He's just playing high minutes. But when he's playing, how much effort does he give? We don't really know. We never know, because only Harden knows. For the Toronto Raptors, Siakam, beautiful game, a big triple double with Fred VanVleet out. And the Raptors came out and said, Nick Nurse has come out and said, we gotta rest some of the starters. So Siakam, I could see him getting rested. They have a comfortable 2-game lead ahead of the Bulls. So last game of the regular season, I mean, if they win the next game, they have nothing to play for. I do expect a lot of guys to get rested, to be honest. Let's see, the Toronto Raptors. Oh yeah, they have a back-to-back Friday. So let's see who plays. We know OG Anunoby is going to be out, and who knows, he might be out for Sunday as well. If there's no seeding implications. Who knows, Scotty Barnes might get rested, Gary Trent Jr. Let's see if any of the guys miss Friday's game. If they do, Chris Boucher possibly. If he gets to start, we could stream him if you need blocks. Thaddeus Young could be a streaming option if everybody's out. So we should come back and check later. But those are the two guys potentially we could stream. This game, all the starters play high minutes, of course, with Precious Achiuwa coming in for OG Anunoby, and had a great game, 20 points with 5 threes. Unbelievable. Gary Trent Jr. had 5 threes, 30 points. Scotty Barnes did a little bit of everything, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 13 points. But Scotty Barnes has not been great. There was a stretch where he was blocking a lot of shots, getting a lot of defensive stats, and that hasn't happened in a long time. At least in the last 2 weeks. That's a lot of majority of his value is coming from. Let's go to the next game. The Boston Celtics lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. These two teams, based on the seeding, they could potentially be a second-round matchup. Jason Tatum rested today. So Jaylen Brown, 22 points, a triple-double, still in the block, really great. 4 for 7 from the free throw line is maybe not ideal. And after this game, Celtics, if you got Celtics guys, it's drop city. They just played their back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're streaming Daniel Theis, who had a decent game here, if you're streaming Derek White, who hit 4 threes, 19 points with no defensive stats, if you got Marcus Smart, you got to think about dropping him as well. Stream somebody for Friday and Saturday. So a lot of these guys, like even, I guess, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, if you don't need the points, right, and you have enough acquisitions, both guys could be dropped. If you in some situations, right, you have more than enough acquisitions, and you don't need the points, because Jason Tatum, really, the points is hard to replace, but everything else, threes, you could easily find guys on the waiver wire that give you 3. So depending on your situation, but even Jason Tatum could be dropped. Jaylen Brown, of course, could be dropped. Marcus Smart, if you don't need the assist, could be dropped. All these guys. For the Milwaukee Bucks, they got a back-to-back Friday. Who knows who's gonna? Is Giannis gonna rest today? We're not sure. Some of these guys might get rested. Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton. The difference between second and third seed, in the second round is going to be home court advantage. So I think both teams, ideally, they still want it, but how bad do they want it? Celtics, clearly, they're resting Jason Tatum. They don't think they care that much. For the Bucks, I think there's a small chance that some of the starters get rested. I think there's a good chance Brook Lopez gets rested. So if Bobby Portis is on the waiver wire, we could pick him up if that's the case. If Jrue Holiday or Chris Middleton, if they're out, if Giannis is out, then Jordan Nwora could become interesting. He could come in and play 40 minutes, have a huge game. This game, though, the big three all play well. Middleton had 9 assists, 2 steals and a block, 3 threes. Giannis, just the usual 29 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals and a block with 5 assists. Jrue Holiday, 29 points, 8 assists. Yeah, they're just clicking. The big three, they're just clicking. And they've been playing with each other for a long time, and they're battle tested. So that's why they're the favorite in the East, in my opinion, this year. Many other teams, they're just a couple of teams against them. They're either inexperienced or, in Sixers' case, Harden and Joel Embiid, they tend not to perform well at big moments. Well, for Joel Embiid, it's not about not performing well. He just run out of gas. Like I remember last year in the playoffs against the Atlanta Hawks, one game he was like 1 for 11. He just ran out of gas, so he started missing shots, started missing free throws, all those type of things, right? Because Joel Embiid, he's kind of like a first half player. He usually puts. I don't know if it's true this year, but last year in the years before, 100% he scored way more points in the first half than the second half because he just gets tired. He's got some cardio issues. Have such a big body. Coming back to this game, yep, great win for the Bucks. The next game, the San Antonio Spurs lost to Timberwolves, but no worries, they are locked into the playoffs, and DeJounte Murray is nowhere to be seen. He might miss the next 2 games. The Spurs still got a game on Saturday, so a lot of the guys we got to pay attention to. If Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, if DeJounte Murray is still out, these 3 guys we could stream them. Trey Jones, very good as this guy, and get some steals. Keldon Johnson, mainly the points and rebounds, and Devin Vassell, some defensive stats and threes. So we should look at those 3 guys. Even Josh Richardson before yesterday, you could use 1 acquisition, get 3 games out of him. Like if you got a lot of guys out on your lineup as we get to later in the season, you just don't know who. Like maybe half of your roster, like your star player, is gonna get rested on Sunday. So having your Josh Richardson, you might be able to use him because everybody's out on that day. Jacob Poeltl had 3 blocks, sure, 17 rebounds, huge game from him. So with him back, Zach Collins is not really worth rostering anymore. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards tried hard to get 50 points. So he ain't passing in the fourth quarter. He took 28 field goals, 6 threes, but he couldn't get it down. Unfortunately, maybe next time, he will have plenty of opportunity to go for 50 in his career. And, he's been struggling pretty hard, so good to see him bounce back. Jared Vanderbilt, finally a game where he played over 25 minutes for whatever reason. His minutes was kept low under 25, but we can't really trust him. Patrick Beverley played 28 minutes. The Wolves have one of the worst schedules in the last 2 weeks because they only have 3 games each week. Sorry, just give me 1 second. They only have 3 games each week, and they are on high volume days. So if you got like a Karl Anthony Towns, you got Anthony Edwards, you got Patrick Beverley, it's not ideal. And D'Angelo Russell was out this game as well. But they had a great schedule before these 2 weeks. Malik Beasley had 3 threes, but they only have 1 more game on Sunday. So you could think about dropping everybody. Like, if you don't need the points, let's say you need the assist, right? Drop him. Get like Tyus Jones or what Tyus Jones just played. Stream somebody from the Wizards, those 2 point guards to get some assists. Or if you need blocks. So something to think about when we get to this point of the season. And who knows? Anthony Edwards might get rested the last day of the week. The last day of the regular season. You just don't know. So if you got enough acquisitions, 100%, you could drop everybody and just stream the category. There are a lot of guys on the waiver wire right now, like a lot of Oklahoma City Thunder guys. Like everybody could be picked up, right? And same thing with like Portland Trailblazers team. There's just a lot of value out there, and if your guys is not playing a game till Sunday, try to stream that spot. Even for we'll get to Jokic later. Even for Jokic. Could be dropped if you're a league, let him drop it. Okay, now the Timberwolves team, it should be drop city for everybody. The Portland Trailblazers team could be a good stream before yesterday. They got blown out. No surprise there, 94-127. Who played well this game? Drew Eubanks, very solid, a must roster, 20 points. And they have one of the best schedules this week and last week as well. 9 for 11, just good stuff. Chris Dunn started. Had 6 assists and 2 steals and nothing else. That's what he does, assists and steals. Brandon Williams played just 60 minutes coming back from an injury, so they have 2 more games. If you got Chris Dunn, if you need assists, you should continue to ride with him. In just 22-23 minutes, he can get you 4 or 5 assists, maybe a steal or 2. So that's good value right there. Keon Johnson, who's been playing fairly well, had just 6 points. Struggled a little bit with his shot, but had 8 assists and steal. He's somebody you could stream on Saturday, right? Drew Eubanks, if he's out down the waiver wire, you could stream him on Saturday as well. And CJLB, I don't really know what this guy can bring consistently. Every game it's something different, but he had 17 points and 2 threes. And Greg Brown did a bit everything, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and steal. But all these guys, Saturday, when the Saturday comes around, you could look at some of these guys. Maybe you could use them on Sunday as well if your entire roster is resting. We look at the New Orleans Pelicans, Herbert Jones, 25 minutes. Yeah, with Larry Nance Jr., it was a blowout. So all their starters not really getting minutes. So that was the best game from him. Jackson Hayes, 11 points, mediocre. And if we don't know, Brandon Ingram is going to be back next game, right? We look at their schedule. They have a really good schedule this week, actually. They have a back-to-back coming up Saturday and Sunday. If Brandon Ingram misses those games, Devontae Graham maybe could be a stream for assist. Jackson Hayes maybe could stream because he usually gets a few extra minutes with Brandon Ingram out. So those two guys we could potentially look at them, and who knows, who knows if they're gonna play Valanciunas on Saturday, because they are locked in. Do they have anything to play for? Maybe they're locked into the plays, and they're not gonna. Yeah, they're 2 games ahead of the Spurs. I don't know who holds the tiebreaker. Maybe they do. So the next 2 games are meaningless for these guys. So it's highly possible, in one of the back-to-backs, they're just gonna rest everybody. CJ, Valanciunas. So just be prepared. All right, let's look at the next game. The Grizzlies got blown out by Denver Nuggets. Grizzlies, they have a back-to-back coming up Saturday and Sunday. I don't think Jaren Jackson going to play both. I don't think Desmond Bane, even though these guys are young guys and they're supposed to be healthy. Even Tyus Jones was rested. So like all of these guys, Dillon Brooks, all the starters, there's a chance they get rested. Maybe DeAnthony Melton will be the beneficiary. So we'll come back Saturday and check their status, or Sunday. If these guys are getting rested on Sunday and DeAnthony Melton is on the waiver wire, I would absolutely pick him up. If he gets 35 minutes, who knows? He can pop off and win you the ship. Same thing with Brandon Clark. If everybody's out, if you need field goal and blocks and rebounds, he could give you that. Coming in, play 30 minutes in place of Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't know. Maybe they play both ways, but I highly doubt it. I think they're gonna play one game and then rest Sunday's game. This is just what I feel like. Resting players now is the new. This is just what everybody does. So you have to be prepared. And for Denver Nuggets, it's drop city for the entire roster. Jokic, of course, had another great game, 35 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals and block. And now he's broken. He has, first player ever to score 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists, or 600 assists. So he's done it, made his MVP case, and the Denver Nuggets officially has nothing to play for. Actually, the one game behind the Jazz. So we'll see. Jokic, if Jokic is playing on Sunday, look, it's if you need a tight competition for threes and everything else is settled, threes and free throws, let's say, and you're trying to win turnovers, maybe Jokic is somebody you could drop, but because he brings so many different categories, he's the number 1 ranked player. But if, let's say, you're trying to win threes, everything else is settled. Jokic already helped you secure points. He helped you secure rebounds. He helped you secure assists. He helped you secure steals. You just need one more category, threes, and you could drop it, right? And just stream 3-point streamers. Stream Reggie Bullock, who's going to make you 5 threes. I think that's the only situation I see I would drop Jokic. Otherwise, there's a chance he plays on Sunday, so we'll see. But more likely, he's going to get rested. But rest of the guy, Monty Morris, Will Barton, Jeff Green, they done their job all season for your team. So you could let everybody go. And they're not really, now the Denver Nuggets guys been producing anyways. They're not really producing much. All right, now let's talk about the last game of the night. The LA Lakers got blown out by the Golden State Warriors. Yep. And now we see why Taylor Horton Tucker had the first 3 games he played without LeBron AD. He was putting up great numbers in this game. 28 field goals, 40 points, 4 steals, 8 for 9 from the free throw line. I don't know what it is. For some of these young guys, they need to learn how to play with great players. They gotta learn, like, if you're not the focus of the offense, what can you do to help the team win? It's something Taylor Horton Tucker has to figure out. Assuming LeBron AD stays next season, assuming they both stay next season, because he's got the talent. Malik Monk, great game again, absolutely a must roster. They got a game tonight. I don't think LeBron AD or Russell Westbrook are going to play any game this season. So Malik Monk, as long as they're not resting, quote unquote resting, they should not be resting Malik Monk or Taylor Horton Tucker, right? So these guys should have great games. 7 rebounds, 3 threes, 4 assists, and still on 2 blocks. Really good game from Malik. Dwight Howard maybe could get a few extra minutes. Maybe you could stream him tonight if you look for some big man stats. If he's gonna play, because he could grab you 10 rebounds in 30 minutes. Pretty sure if you need some rebounding blocks. The rest of the guys, Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, they're not really. Stanley Johnson, if you need steals, maybe. For the Warriors, do they have anything to play for? Oh yes, they do. They're currently 1 game ahead of the Mavericks. They have a back-to-back. Well, this is their first game this week, actually. So they haven't had a game in 4 days, so maybe a little bit rusty. But some guys might get rested. The back-to-back on Sunday and Saturday. Draymond Green could get 100% could get rested. Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, maybe Jordan Poole. He's so young. I think Warriors is just gonna play him every game. Really good game here. 19 points and 11 assists with 3 threes. So even if he's not scoring for 30 points, this game Klay Thompson had it going. So he had 11 assists. That's huge in the assist apartment. But they got a back-to-back coming up. Gary Payton Jr., you could stream, hey, if you need steals. Otto Porter Jr. is going to miss one of those games, so I wouldn't recommend. And who knows, they might rest Jordan Poole, Gary Payton Jr. as well, because he's got some injuries going on as well. So this Warriors team is just tough. I think they might just not play everybody on Sunday. Maybe they would if they are tied with the Mavericks and they try to be the 3rd seed. Then they could avoid Phoenix Suns in the 2nd round. I think there's something to play for there. So I don't think they care too much about playing Jazz or the Nuggets. It'll be the same to them. But in the 2nd round, playing a Grizzlies team versus playing a Phoenix Suns team, it will make a difference. Assuming those teams are the teams that advance. And that's it for all the games, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.